Hey, welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling and filming this on Good Friday, 2015, so wishing everyone a happy Easter. This is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to go over something I just got that I've been looking forward to for a long time. This is Kansas Miracles Out of Nowhere. And this is a documentary, more than anything else, about the original 6 members of Kansas. This is something that they've been working on for a while. I've been wanting to have more information on their early years. So this is a great documentary. Just finished watching it. We'll talk about the documentary in a minute. I just want to talk about the cover here. If this picture looks familiar to Kansas fans, this photo of the group appeared on the back cover of their first album. And what's really cool is that they have now recreated that cover. This is a recent photo of the 6, the original 6. So you can see that all there. And they talk about that photo shoot actually in the documentary. It's quite funny. It was in the middle of a storm, typical Kansas weather, tornadoes and whatnot. This this is the DVD itself, for Miracles Out of Nowhere. This is the booklet that comes with it. And again, on the back of the booklet, you can see they've interlaced the old and new photos of the band members standing in roughly the same place with a little map of Kansas in the background. This talks about the formation of the group and their signing the record deal with Don Kirshner, his label Kirshner Records. And it chronicles their rise to fame up through the 70s. Culminating, of course, with Left Overture in 1976, which contained Carry On Wayward Son, their breakthrough song, and Point of No Return in 77 with Dust in the Wind, the 2 songs that they're primarily known for. I'm glad that they really did something like this. It was about time. It features commentary from all 6 of the band members, some of whom hadn't seen each other in many years. They talked to Jeff Glicksman, who started out as their sound man, ended up being their producer. And they talked to Bud Carr, who became their manager. They talk a lot about Don Kirshner, who's since passed away, and Wally Gold, someone else who was very instrumental in their career in the early days. And there are some celebrity appearances too. Brendan O'Brien, who nowadays is a very famous rock producer. He talks about being a Kansas fan when he was younger. Talked to Brian May from Queen, who Kansas opened for early on. And I actually learned a few things from this documentary, and one of which was that Kerry Livgren came to Brian May and said that the riff to Carry On Wayward Son was inspired by the Queen song, Now I'm Here. Now, I still don't hear where those 2 riffs have anything in common, but it has something to do with the way the chord changed, and he wanted to try something like that. And just fascinating things like that. Amusing story about Kansas opening for Aerosmith and how Steven Tyler, Aerosmith are known for being not very nice to their opening acts back in that day. Rush tells a similar story, but apparently Steven Tyler really kind of set out trying to sabotage the group when they were playing in all places Kansas, in Wichita in 1975, and it's kind of a funny story there. They even talked to Garth Brooks, who, you know, country singer, but obviously some rock influences too, with Kiss and Queen, and Kansas big on his list. He says, as far as like the Eagles and the Beatles, he says something like, you could put Kansas right up there for me. So it's really cool to hear comments about a band that you just don't hear a lot of critical acclaim about. They just happen to sell a lot of albums. I love the DVD and the CD. There's a CD that comes with it, and the CD has dialogue from the documentary introing some of these songs. And, you know, there are some cool things on here. For instance, there's a version of Can I Tell You, which is a song from their first album, but this version is live from their appearance at Don Kirshner's rock concert, which he was the head of their label. But Don Kirshner's rock concert was a very well-known rock TV show in the 70s. In a lot of ways, it was the only way that rock bands that weren't overly pop could get exposure. And what I did not know about this is that when they filmed that performance, which I'd seen before, there was no one in the audience. The audience was brought in later. It was canned applause. It's kind of funny. And so the CD is sort of exactly to go along with it. Sort of exactly. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But as much as I enjoy this package, I'm glad it came out, and I would recommend it to any Kansas fan. And anyone who's only heard those two songs and likes them, check out the rest of the band's stuff. I do an earlier TVC where I go through their vinyl. Their vinyl artwork is really cool as well. But they're worth checking out to dig a little bit deeper. If you like what you hear so far, you'll like more. The early stuff is a lot of the really long songs, not really choruses to some of them, but just good playing, amazing playing. And Kerry Livgren, who was a guitar player and the main songwriter, the guy's just a genius the way he put some of these songs together in his head without being able to put down ideas, record ideas. Song for America, for instance, is one of it's a title song from their second album. He wrote that on a plane. And if you know that song, it's got so many changes in it, and how he was able to remember those changes when he actually got into a studio and could, record the ideas out. It's just a really entertaining package. Very humble bunch of guys, no rock star egos. And the title of the DVD, Miracles Out of Nowhere, yes, it is one of their songs. It's a song off Left Overture, but it's also talking about how amazing it is that they achieved so much success coming from where they came from, Topeka, Kansas. It was not a center of music industry activity at all. And what they did to get signed. And their first 3 albums, none of them were really successful. A band like this, and actually a lot of my favorite bands, would never make it today because you have to hit it big right off the bat or you're done. And they were 4 albums in before they scored a hit album and a hit single. So it's definitely worth checking out. My only regret, and I understand they had to cut it down or it would have been 4 hours long, I would like to see something similar to this done on the sort of the second phase of Kansas' career into the 80s when the lineup changes begin. When Steve Walsh leaves, John Elephant comes in, they disband, they get back together, Steve Morse is in the band, and David Ragsdale joins, and then the original band gets back together slightly. But obviously that's not their commercial period, so I'm probably not likely to see something like that. But for now, I would highly recommend Kansas Miracles Out of Nowhere. It's a short one, but I just want to put the word out that this is available for purchase. It's a collaborative effort. It is on Sony, so they do have this they've issued it. They haven't issued it themselves, so it is all the original recordings as well. Definitely worth picking up if you're a Kansas fan, as I am. Thanks for watching this latest episode of Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Got some other episodes in the works for you. Some co-hosts hope to have, and I'm waiting for, right now, as of this writing, I'm waiting for some concert tickets to arrive in the mail. Looking forward to that too. I'll tell you more about it. Thanks for watching.